Welcome back, everybody, to season 2 of Beyond the Business. I'm one of your hosts, Vanee.
And I'm your other host, Samya.
And we're basically here to teach you guys the fundamentals about entrepreneurship, the foundation, things of that nature. This season, we're definitely going to be interviewing different people in the Nifty curriculum and world and see what we're doing. But we got a lot of great things to get into today. So yeah, right, Samya?
Yep. And Beyond the Business, whole purpose is to take you, outside of the classroom and just show you all the different ways that you can incorporate Nifty into your life.
Yeah. Before we get into anything, I definitely do want to say, guys, alumni registrations, you guys in the classroom right now, you guys are doing biz camp and all that great stuff, right? But we want to turn you guys into alumni members. That way you get access to all these great and cool things, right? So in the description in our bio below, definitely check out alumni.nifty.com/sign up. We have some cool deals for you in the end, right?
A lot of cool deals. And actually, we even have gift cards that we're willing to give out to you guys. Isn't that right, Vanee?
It's a secret, but we'll talk about it more at the end. First of all, I definitely want to talk about the teacher, the student, and the district representative of the month. Production. Can we pull that up? All right. So basically, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to OCPS, Orlando, Florida. We have Miss Kelly, who has been teaching at Cypress Creek High School for about 8 years. She's always taught accounting applications, but this year she added business and entrepreneurship to her course. Miss Kelly has a passion for teaching, but also entrepreneurship as well. Shout out to Nifty. She's a day trader in the foreign exchange market, and she even owns an online clothing store. She enjoys inspiring the youth and helping them on their journey into entrepreneurship. So shout out to Miss Kelly. Also, we have her students on the side at Cypress Creek. On the right, or on the first left, we have Anastasia Alfaro, who's a junior who envisions herself owning a business of her own one day. While growing up, she always knew she wanted to be a boss, and she grew an early love for entrepreneurship. She loves to cheerlead, play basketball, volleyball, and even she's into fashion. Shout out to her. Then we have Kelly Hodges in the middle, who's a sophomore with a passion for all things learning about entrepreneurship and business. She's currently enrolled in a dual enrollment program with Valencia College, working to graduate with not only her diploma, but her AA at Valencia, so that's amazing. She then wants to continue her education and obtain a bachelor's degree in business administration at UCF. Amazing. Last but certainly not least, we do have Briana Perez-Morales, who is also a sophomore that envisions herself studying business administration in the future. She aspires to attain skills and experience in entrepreneurship, and she loves working as a team with other people, strengthening experience through collaboration, and being a part of her school's performing arts program. All things Nifty, all things entrepreneurship is Briana. So shout out to them. They are doing amazing things. And we're actually going to get into an interview with them a little bit later throughout the show so they could talk about what it is they're doing in specifics.
Big congratulations to our School of the Month, Teacher of the Month, and Student of the Month. They're doing amazing things at Cypress Creek. So well done to them. But now we're going to go into our next segment of Business Basics. Here to teach you business basics so you're not a basic business. So the fundamentals of a business, what does that mean, Vanee?
So basically to me, you can't have a business idea without identifying a problem, right? So what are some of the things you can identify, right? So if I stub my toe, do you guys maybe want to create a business around like detecting if somebody's going to hit something with motion sensors? I've actually seen where there's students out there, somewhere out there in the world, that are creating motion censored devices for the blind. That way they're able to kind of help them, get through things day to day. That's a huge problem that they solved.
That's amazing. And we can't actually even create a business idea without first finding a problem that our business idea then solves. So me, Vanee, and I were actually both entrepreneurs, and we were both actually Nifty alumni. So we were once in your shoes creating our businesses from scratch, trying to identify these problems. So a problem personally for me that I had to solve was financial literacy. And financial literacy, honestly, is not being taught enough in high schools today. So I had to eventually teach myself pretty much everything about credit, taxes, taking out loans, getting ready for college. And I found that my friends were coming up to me saying, Samya, how can help me with this? I don't know how to do my taxes. I don't know how to get a credit card. And I was like, kept telling them, but they weren't like remembering everything, because of course it's not one of the most interesting things to talk about. So I created a video game that teaches the youth about financial literacy so we can have higher retention rates. And I know, Vanee, you did something similar with your own business where you had to solve a problem.
Yeah, definitely. But I definitely want to shout out to you because, finding that problem within the youth, I mean, financial literacy within, our age demographic is actually really tough in high school. They don't really teach you that. So for you to identify that problem and bring it to an age demographic that enjoys gaming, that's incredible. And you are doing a great job of solving a problem. So shout out to Samya on that one. Hopefully you guys can do the same thing and learn something from what we talk about. I would say for me, back when I was in high school, I like to talk a lot about social injustice within, the Black and the POC community. So for me, I created a podcast. I started a podcast. We wanted to amplify our voice, and it was amazing. Like a year later, we turned into a media production company. So not only were we amplifying our own voices, but we also solved that problem so that we can amplify community voices as a whole. That was extremely incredible because, who doesn't want their voice out there in some way, shape, or form? So we were definitely able to solve a problem in some way on the local aspect of things.
Yeah, and honestly, Vanee, that's amazing too, that you can then find an outreach for people of color in these communities who, frankly, our voices aren't heard enough also. So that's also something amazing. So with that, as we find problems to then create business ideas that we're going to solve, we also encounter different problems when actually running our companies. And I know running a company is not an easy thing, as you also know, Vanee. So what are some challenges that maybe you have even faced in running your companies while I kind of think about mine?
Yeah, so basically I've realized that it's so hard to maintain relationships and understand people outside of just yourself. So we started off as a team of 3, we grew to a team of 9, reduced back to a team of 7, and everybody has their own personality types, and things like that. So making sure everybody's happy, everybody's workflow is productive. I'm actually the company COO, so operations, day-to-day, scheduling, I handle that. And one of the things I like to do is check in with people. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to make your day better, make your week better? Because we meet weekly, we get the production going, we get it in. And it's like, if people are not mentally in that space to produce, it's not gonna, produce great content. So definitely strengthening a team, building a team, one, you guys, and then strengthening it. So not only you supporting them, but if you do support them properly, your team can support you. And that's one of the biggest things. That was a problem that I solved.
I 100% agree, especially like when you're working with people, there's so many problems that can arise from that. Because just from my own personal experience, so I'm CEO of Money Moves and founder. And when I tried to expand my team, at first, it was hard for me to find people who had the same seriousness and passion for this project. And I found that a lot of people that I entrusted with my company, they kind of were like not taking it serious, we're letting sales go, not prioritizing certain things. So once again, guys, keep this key advice in mind, that you are only as strong as the weakest member on your team. And that's in literally every aspect. So whether you play sports, you're running a business, no matter what you do, you are always only as good as the weakest member on your team. So it's good to have those good people surrounding around yourself, even in your personal life, all the way to a business. I think that's one of the biggest challenges. That's why I'm Nifty. 100%. That's easily one of the biggest challenges I had to learn when running a company and encountering these problems. But even with the bad, there is also good. And there's also so many amazing aspects to entrepreneurship. And with that, it's just, for me personally, it's definitely having that passion and love for what I do and then being able to profit off of it, which is something I'm just super happy that even Nifty has provided me with this mindset to then do. So, Vanee, what's some best aspects of your entrepreneurship journey thus far?
I would say the best part of everything is being able to accomplish the goals. And I feel like I'm a broken record, right? Because I think I said that a lot in season 1 of Beyond the Business, just, accomplishing goals is like, but that, in my DNA, I love to accomplish tasks. So what me and my company did, we set up a 3-month goal, 6-month goal, and a year goal. And we're currently working on our 3-month goal. It's just, I love being a part of the journey. I love seeing the progress. We started on Zoom. we started our podcast on Zoom, and we are now in a consistent location that has us for such a low cost. So shout out to them, and consistently showing up. We're building our community, we're expanding our network, and to be able to sit there and get our message out and people understand it. As somebody who's never been that good at expressing themselves, I'm doing a good job through entrepreneurship. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Like, just, exactly, why, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like, why are we nifty? And I think that's a great question to ask each other, Samya. Like, what makes us nifty? Because we ask everybody else, and we're going to ask everybody we interview, but what makes us nifty?
What makes me nifty? I feel like it's definitely just learning these key entrepreneurial like mindset skills to then be able to adapt, overcome, learn about time management. And this is just a mindset that's key to have regardless of whether you have a business or not. It keeps me motivated on task. It gives me that discipline to kind of keep my life organized and keep on path to where I eventually one day would like to be. And I feel like this just knowing that I have the potential to do that and be that when it's not something I was always told I could accomplish as a kid and growing up. So knowing that I can just think of myself this way and then become it is such an amazing experience to then just mentally prepare myself for that. But then what about you? What makes you nifty?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that's a great answer. I think for me, I was, I started Nifty in 2017, and I was a completely different person. I do see aspects of myself from when I was in high school versus now being 21 years old, doing like the entrepreneurship thing, grinding it out. But, I was like more timid. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. So using Nifty throughout the years, from becoming a student to an intern to having, a position, I've definitely been able to see the growth, and what makes me nifty is my growth. And just being able to, accomplish the inner goals and the self-development goals that I set for myself, and being able to expand my network through the organization. Things like that are definitely what make me nifty, but I cannot skate past that.
That's why I'm nifty.
Production in high gear with the "That's Why I'm Nifty" sample. I love it. But, I can't skate past this question without shouting out BizCamp. I work with BizCamp students hands-on for the past 3 years really. And I just love being able to get a feel for what the youth behind me, that generation behind us, are doing, and being able to inspire them and give them ideas any way I can. I love doing that, and seeing what their idea formulates into in the physical reality. Things like that's really what makes me nifty. So
yeah. And I also like to highlight that's why I'm nifty. But as well as biz camps, I honestly want to give a huge shout out to Nifty teachers, because I feel like they frankly don't hear it enough about the impact that they're really making on students, even if the students don't even realize it, then and there in biz camp and the classroom and so on and so forth. Definitely even like post high school and being an FT alum, I'm like, wow, all of these key skills and the impact that the teachers made on me has been monumental. Shout out to Mr. Ray Paris, who was my NFT teacher. Who else? Miss Washington, all these other teachers who have come and stepped in and helped me on this journey. So yeah, big shout out to them. And speaking on growth, like you were mentioning, Vanee, I know you were talking about how to kind of solve these problems and solutions, kind of set goals for your company, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you solved it. So how to do the short-term goals, long-term goals, how did that kind of help you kind of find solutions?
Formulate?
Yeah.
That's such a great question. I mean, it's really a mixture of both. We can't have long-term goals, at least for us. I mean, people are different, but for us, we realized we couldn't have these big, like, long-term goals if we didn't set goals for ourselves from day to day. Because what are we doing to get to that point, So if we know that we want to get 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, what can we do day to day and week to week to accomplish to make sure people are engaging with our content, they're liking, they're commenting, they're subscribing? So it's definitely a mixture of both. And we always love to have a weekly meeting to scale progress and see, what did we lack last week? What did we do differently this week that people responded to a little bit more? All of that. Like, it's always good, you guys, to like take a step back at your business and see what works, what doesn't work. A lot of that goes into the lean canvas model and that continuous analysis. So definitely, long story short, mixture of both. What do you
Yeah, and
think?
definitely, yeah, even having like MVPs to then analyze, like see any problems that occur throughout while you're working on your business, anything they need to like pivot or persevere with, and definitely just doing like these tests on your business continuously. Because at the end of the day, you do want your business to be a valid product and see, okay, I have these goals. Why am I not meeting these goals? What can I do better to then solve this problem and meet these goals? So I love that whole like short-term and long-term goals and like having that plan. Because I feel like if you have a plan, you can really do anything.
You know what happens though? And I'm just realizing this, like, you can plan all day, but there are going to be obstructions in the road no matter what. So
Mm-hmm.
really, like driving through those, like skating around them, what can you do? Are you going to try and go around it? Do you want to just go straight ahead and try and, pulverize the obstacle in front of you? It really all just depends. But yeah, like, it's important to figure out how to navigate and adjust. Without adaptability, I feel like it's going to be hard to navigate life in general, but the
100%.
entrepreneurship world, um, everything changes. Tech changes. Social communication formats change. Money, the systems of money change. So you definitely have to be able to adapt.
No, I agree. I feel like adaptability is actually what even keeps us here and alive. Like to be able to adapt, to survive, and then thrive. Like that's just the basis of everything. It's definitely having those key skills, which are like taught through the entrepreneurial mindset, is so key and important. And it's just like the basis of everything that really. And it's not. Do you know what's even more crazy? It's not taught to us in schools, which is why I'm also so grateful for Nifty for actually even teaching us this.
Shout out to Samya for the Nifty plug.
Oh yeah.
That was a mini pitch, you guys. Like, you definitely like take notes and be sure click the alumni registration so maybe we can talk. Like, if you guys, here's the key: find a mentor. If you're having trouble even getting the business idea off the ground, think about somebody within that field that does the same thing that you're looking to do, and see if they can help you. 9 times out of 10, they definitely would love to, and that's the power of social media platforms like LinkedIn. But best alumni registration, because with that alumni pool, you could probably connect with different alumni members that might be doing something similar, and automatically, because you're a part of Nifty, I was a part of Nifty, they can help you.
Yeah.
Me and Samya volunteer as tribute.
Yeah. I know it might
Sure,
sound like
pleasure.
we're like Nifty, woo, die hard, but like it really does help you. Like there's so many opportunities that we have both received just from, taking advantage of the alumni opportunities and signing up on the website. So that's something that definitely helped us. But I know a couple of the other students that we were also talking to earlier this week are basically saying how even registering benefited them when we spoke to them from the Orange County Public Schools today.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed speaking to them, but not only them, Miss Kelly. The thing about Miss Kelly is that she loves business. Like I talked about in her Teacher of the Month segment, she has her own clothing store. Like, she's on the foreign exchange market. Like, she really lives and breathes entrepreneurship, and I could see her passion for her students and seeing what she can do to impart some sort of foundation of entrepreneurship. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that interview went. My name is Vanee. Can you guys state your names?
I'm Miss Whitney Kelly. I'm the business and technology teacher here at Cypress Creek High School.
I'm Kelly Hodges. I'm Briana Perez-Morales. And I'm Anastasia Alfaro.
Perfect. So I want to start with Miss Kelly, as she is the leader, teaching you guys all of these great things. So Miss Kelly, can you basically give a summary of who you are, how you got into teaching, and things like that?
Yes, absolutely. I was actually a business major in college. I got my undergrad in business management and then continued to get my master's in business. I always knew I wanted to do something in business, but just wasn't quite sure what it was. So while getting my master's, I was working at a high school and just started to connect with students. And I just kind of grew a passion for helping others while getting my master's and working at a high school in the office. So a position opened to become a business teacher. I applied and I just kind of grew a passion just for teaching business. I've been teaching for 8 years now. Throughout that time, it's mostly been accounting. And I was so thrilled that this particular school year, we added a new course, which is business and entrepreneurial principles. And we were so blessed to be able to have a connection with Nifty to be able to use the framework. And it's been amazing, just teaching it from the get-go. I also do have a entrepreneur background as well. Outside of teaching, I do run a small business. I love to trade and invest. So like business is my life, just in general.
Well, that is amazing. And I myself actually went to school and I started off in business and administration and I transferred over to a music-based business program. But that is great. So in terms of what you have been learning with Nifty, what kind of things have you taken away as far as an entrepreneurial mindset?
Definitely, I mean, even teaching the course, I've even learned a lot just teaching the course. As most entrepreneurs, you kind of learn as you go. There's no fine blueprint as far as, you know, the mindset, the design thinking process. So I think the biggest thing that just helped me personally as an entrepreneur and a teacher is the entire design thinking process that the Nifty curriculum takes you through. And as well helping my students understand that concept as they want to go into entrepreneurship in the future as well. So that's been the biggest key for me teaching this.
That's great. Do you have any advice for students outside of the classroom who are thinking about starting their entrepreneurial journey?
The biggest advice would be jump in my class or any class that teaches business and entrepreneurial principles. Just thinking back to when I was in high school, I knew I wanted to do something in business. I just wasn't quite sure what. And maybe you may know, because we could be around the same age, but I didn't have a class of this nature. And I think the only thing I really learned in high school was how to type, which is valuable. It's a valuable skill to learn how to type without looking at the keyboard, but to learn the whole mindset piece, I think is huge for a teenager. I brag to my students a lot. I tell them they're blessed because 10 years from now, they're going to be successful CEOs, CFOs, you know, whatever they decide to do, because they're starting with this foundation of just getting the mindset piece right in a class that's built to help you with that. So
I can definitely agree with that. I'm actually 21 years old, and you know, without Nifty, I have no idea where I would be. And I was one of the only students in my class that really took it serious. But once I won a competition, I was like, wait, there is more to life than just college alone, but what in college? It really helped me activate what path I wanted to take. So I hope that it's doing the same for you and even your students out there and everybody who's watching. The last question I ask every teacher and every student, and I'm gonna ask you guys too, what makes you Nifty?
That's a very good question. I was just introduced to this program I believe almost a year ago, and just still not quite knowing it, but once I dived in to everything, it was just like a whole new world. It was like a wow factor, that wow, this exists, this is amazing. And I say what makes me Nifty is just the mindset. This is probably, since teaching, the one and only class I can even think of, or even just, you know, being a student in past years, that it's all about mindset. You can do anything that you put your mind to, but starting with the whole thinking of how to be an entrepreneur, where to start, it's just that mindset piece is huge.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Kelly. I'm going to transition over to interviewing your students. I'm going to start by asking you to state your name, your school, and your favorite subject in high school.
My name is Callie. I go to Cypress Creek High School, and my favorite subject, I have to say, is social studies.
Oh, definitely.
It's kind of
History is important.
Yeah, I like looking at our past and how that shapes us today.
That's really profound. So far in Nifty, what has been one of the most impactful things that you've learned through the curriculum and working with Ms. Kelly?
How to start a business. And my future, I plan on being an entrepreneur. And it really gives me the structure on how to start it, like the lean canvas model. I had no idea that was even a thing before this class. And so that really helps me shape.
That's amazing. So what you've learned so far, can you tell me a little bit about your business, your concept, any ideas you have?
So we just went into the World Series of Innovation competition. We entered with the concept of taking old buildings that would originally be demolished and repurposing them through recycled materials and adding green roofs and solar panels to make it completely sustainable.
Okay, that's amazing. So can you talk a little bit about your competitors? Do you know much about it, and what would make your concept better?
I think our concept would be better if we had a little bit more of a cost estimate, because it would definitely be very expensive. If we had a rough estimate so that we could present that to investors potentially, if needed. Also, if our competition, I haven't talked to anybody else that is involved in that project, so I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, no problem. So you did talk a little bit about your plans for the future and being an entrepreneur, but what led you to that path? What made you decide, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what feels right for the future?
So I started off, before I took this class, I knew that I wanted to go somewhere into business. I was leaning towards more business marketing. But then I went into this class, and it opened so many doors to entrepreneurship where I'm like, wow, this is what I want to do. It was this class that led me to deciding that's what I want to do.
You know what's amazing about that? I think that I could say the same thing for myself, because if I wasn't sitting in the class with my teacher, Ms. Powell, in high school, and I didn't get introduced to Nifty, I probably wouldn't be an entrepreneur. I probably would be in the military right now, but that's a good option too. But it's like, working for yourself just seems like such a great thing to do in this day and age. So yeah, kudos to you. Lastly, what makes you Nifty?
Probably, I think I'm gonna go with the same thing as my teacher said, just the mindset that I've developed over taking this course.
Alrighty, thank you so much. I'll take the next student.
My name is Briana Perez-Morales. I am a sophomore in high school, and I think my favorite subject would be math, because even though it's a little bit tricky, I kind of like the rules of the game, and I kind of like how it works, and I like the challenge.
That's amazing, because I absolutely dislike math. So it's good that we have some students out there that love, numbers and crunching them. I know Miss Kelly said she was an accountant as well, so kudos to y'all. So for you, can you tell me a little bit about your business concept and, how it works?
Well, the concept is, again, about sustainable buildings. And so we wanted to make it work by, obviously, we were talking about the cost. So we need, to make it work, we would need a lot of investors. We would need to get a lot of money to start it up. But basically how it would work is we would work with the investors to help us fund the actual projects that we would be doing, and we would look into what options would be best for the building. We were looking into low-rise, mid-rise, and high-rise buildings, and trying to decipher which ones would need what, and we would just need to do a lot of problem solving within that.
Okay, that sounds good. So you guys are basically a team. I didn't put that together.
Yes.
You guys are a team.
We're working
okay.
together. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, I'm not going to ask you about competitors because your business partner told me about that. So what are some plans that you have for the future for you?
I honestly would like to go into business administration. I would like to study that in college. I see myself being an entrepreneur. My mom is an entrepreneur. My dad is a director, so I kind of know the types of things of being working a business and stuff. So I've been basically working with my mom my entire life. So that was kind of my baseline for what I kind of wanted to do. And then especially, again, like Callie said, with this class, it really secured that spot for me. It kind of made me actually like it.
That's amazing. And I'm happy that you guys are working together, because I remember when I was in high school, I had a partner, but they weren't reliable and they ditched me. So I had to end up doing it by myself. But that support really can take you guys a long way.
I'm Anastasia Alfaro. I go to Cypress Creek High School, and my favorite subject would be math, maybe. It'd probably be math.
Got a lot of math geniuses out there in Orlando, so that's amazing. I want to ask you a different question. So to you, based off of what you've learned through Nifty curriculum, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur?
To be an entrepreneur means to have your own rules and to kind of just have your own business and have an entrepreneur mindset and be able to create a business and maybe help others depending on obviously what the business is.
Okay, that's great. So now that I know that you guys are a team with your business on the sustainability project, what is your role within that business?
There's not one specific role I would say I have. We all definitely help each other with planning and like executing decisions. So I would say we all kind of have the same role.
So what would be your plans for the future?
My plans for the future would be going to a fashion school. I want to open up my own business or open up my own clothing line. I want to go to a fashion school in New York, preferably, and just become an entrepreneur.
Okay. What advice would you give to everybody out there watching in terms of them getting started with their business idea?
I would say to start sooner than later. Like, I probably wouldn't have started if it wasn't for Miss Kelly's class, for this business class. And so I definitely got a head start into becoming an entrepreneur and learning about everything, and Nifty helping me out with this. So I would say to start sooner than later and go for it.
And that's why I'm Nifty.
I love that answer. So last but not least, what makes you Nifty?
I think just having an entrepreneur mindset and knowing knowing about business, and yeah.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. What a great interview. I really enjoyed interviewing them. I mean, Orlando is really just out there doing the best that they can. They're mathematicians. Shout out to them, because I'm not, like I said in the video, I'm more of a science, social studies kind of person. So yeah, that was great. I love that they're all interested in business.
Yeah, so now we're going to go into an interview with the district representative of Orange County Public Schools, Shannon Latimer, who is honestly so inspirational and so amazing. And it was such a pleasure to interview her. So let's roll the tape.
And that's why I'm Nifty.
So proud to say we have Nifty and entrepreneurship programs within 16 of our 22 high schools. So we grew quite quickly, but it was because of so many teachers and students who were interested in entrepreneurship and learning more about it. But my role is to support them. I also come up with great ideas for events, such as we had one in oh my goodness, that was in November. And so I do conferences, competitions, and then supporting our instructors.
You know, that's so amazing. And I love how also just like the entrepreneurship, it just grew. So it's like everyone just shows such an interest into it. But I love how you also mentioned that, you know, you come up with new ideas for events and so on and so forth. And that's something that we really take pride in the entrepreneurial mindset, creating ideas and evolving. So apart from that, has there been times in your job where the entrepreneurial mindset had to be activated, as well as like creating a new idea?
Well, you mean personally? Because personally, I use my entrepreneurial mindset, as I mentioned, in creating events for students. I learned last year that National Entrepreneurship Day was the second Tuesday in November. And since we were launching this new program with all of our high schools, well, with 16 of our high schools, how could I not celebrate National Entrepreneurship Day? So I came up with Inspiring Innovation. OCPS celebrates National Entrepreneurship Day, and it was a day where Nifty representatives came in and went through a social entrepreneurship project. And you have already spoken to students who participated within that project, and it was just a phenomenal day. So it was a pleasure to kind of ignite and inspire those students on National Entrepreneurship Day. And I will tell you, that might have been the first, but it will definitely not be the only one. It will definitely be an ongoing annual event for OCPS.
No, that is super interesting. But how did the whole Innovation Day go? Like, were the students inspired? Like, were you inspired? Like, how did that whole thing go?
Oh my goodness, was I inspired? Well, for one thing, the students coming in, we had over 30 teams, and we had over 100, I believe I had 150 students, and they came in. Some of them came with ideas, some of them did not, but they had an opportunity to work closely with mentors from the professional world, and that in itself was just phenomenal. It really showed our teachers that how community, business partners, and education can really work together to impact our students. And I was blown away at the presentations, at the ideas. I really thought, okay, these students are only going to have 90 minutes. Let's see what they can come up with. Next thing I know, these students are breaking out they were breaking out markers and bulletin board paper and making drawings and sketches and talking points. It was just truly phenomenal day. And I'll also tell you, the students are not the only ones who walked away inspired, but the teachers and our business professionals walked away inspired. Because of that event, I have added members to our advisory board, as well as people who have made me promise that they will be on next year's volunteer list.
I love it. It sounds like such an amazing day. Vanee and I, we have to come up one day for one of the events sometime. It sounds amazing. So from a district level, what impact do you think then Nifty has had on schools in the Orange County area?
Oh, it's made a huge impact simply because we did not have a set curriculum to help our teachers and really guide them and provide projects and activities. And to me, that is what is key. It's the projects, it's the activities, it's that design thinking that Nifty helps instill within our students and our teachers. Because some of them may have wanted to teach entrepreneurship, but didn't know how to do it and how to do it effectively. So Nifty coming in and providing excellent training as well as support for our instructors. Not only was our launch a successful launch, but it was seamless, it was smooth, and it was just the teachers and students just gravitated to it. And so that's what Nifty has really done for us. And I'll tell you that it's going to continue. We're going to engage our middle school teachers next year. I already have some who have heard about the Inspiring Innovation Day, as well as I've also been inspired to do a pitch competition in April. So we'll have a pitch fest in April, and as I said, the inspiration will just continue on.
That's awesome. I love the impact that Nifty has made so far, and also say thank you for making an impact on the students also. It just sounds like the work that's been happening is just so amazing. So before we end this interview real quick, I'll ask you one last question. So what makes you Nifty?
What makes me Nifty? Well, Nifty Nifty challenges me. It challenged me to think of new ideas to use my entrepreneurial mindset, maybe not for a business, but for what services can I provide to the students? What competitions, what conferences, who else can I connect with? So that's what I'm putting on my innovation hat and trying to just think of more ways to allow students to apply their entrepreneurial skills.
And that's why I'm Nifty.
All right, thank you so much for your amazing answer.
Shout out to OCPS once again. Miss Latimer was amazing and just okay. Shout out to Miss Latimer and OCPS once again. I think that, just listening to them and tell their stories so inspiring. It was so inspiring, I have to say, especially Miss Latimer, because she really saw the work that we were able to do and bring in on the district level, and she loves it. And I hope that we can do the same thing in different counties, different public schools, and yeah, just amazing. Samya, how did you feel the interview went?
No, it went so amazing. She's so inspirational, as you already mentioned. I'm just so excited to see the innovation days and everything going on. And actually, speaking of innovation days, let's go now into our Nifty news portion, where I'm going to pretty much showcase all the past events, for example, our innovation days and upcoming events and volunteer opportunities. So, first up, we had our Own It Summit last year in December of 2021, and it went absolutely amazing. So we had over 28 entrepreneurs advise over 275 Nifty students, giving advice on their business concepts and helping the youth really activate the entrepreneurial mindset. And because that Own It Summit was such a success, we're actually having our Own It Week in the month of February, which is going to be a 3-day Own It Week planned with CEOs, advisors, entrepreneurs going to be discussing a range of topics just around the business world and giving advice to our amazing students. So Nifty teachers, make sure to watch out in your emails for more information on this event.
Real quick, sorry to cut you off, Samya. Be sure to click the link in our bio for all the resources. We have them all available to you. The registration links to be a part of it, and also Alumni Registration. Don't forget that. We're about to talk about the incentives. Rolling Nifty news. Sorry about that.
Oh no, of course. Go ahead. Yeah, we have everything, links below in the bio, so on and so forth. And another event that's also currently happening is the Founders Forum Showcase. So if you are unfamiliar, another great perk of being a Nifty alumni is you get to do a lot of different events even after you graduate high school. So the Nifty alumni have actually been working for the past few months on their business concepts with help from a given advisor through the program in order to compete for an investment pool of $10,000. And this showcase is upcoming in March. And actually, Vanee and I are actually partaking in this event. If Vanee would like to speak a little bit more on it.
Yeah, I mean, Founders Forum has been incredible. If you've been in any type of curriculum with Nifty, whether it be BizCamp, Startup Summer, Startup Tech, I mean, E1 with your, just in the classroom with your teachers, you are technically a Nifty alumni and you will be eligible next year to be a part of the Founders Forum program. And, just think about the classroom competition elevated on 10 on 100 really, and the resources that they start you off with is incredible. The mentors that you receive, incredible, and the free platforms like QuickBooks and things like that you have access to. It's been an incredible ride, and they're with you every step of the way to make sure that your business is developing in the way that you see fit. So shout out to Kenny, shout out to Jamel, and Founders Forum as a whole. I can't wait for us to compete in March. I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a super exciting thing. And it's so crazy too, because we have alumni who graduated last year and they're like 18 years old going up against alumni who graduated in 2007 who are now like, I don't know, put the ages out there, but 35, 40, like it doesn't matter what age, like no matter when you graduated from a Nifty program, you will always be a Nifty alumni. So yeah, that's something super exciting coming up. But speaking of exciting, this year will also be our first ever year that we're hosting the World Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge, and it's going to take place on April 6th and 7th. So our national champions showcase winners from the United States will be going up against our top Nifty students from the Philippines, Ireland, India, Mexico, Israel, Japan, Singapore, and Austria. And we also have a couple other countries, students also in the mix. So that's super exciting to look forward to. And actually, in preparation for this challenge, on February 16th, there's going to be a virtual reality launch event. Yes, you heard it correct. virtual reality. And that's going to be an opportunity for our student competitors to kind of network, get to know their other student competitors from all around the world in the metaverse. So once again, if you'd like to volunteer for this event or just come, stop by, whether you have an Oculus or want to join via 2D, you can come on and join the event. Link will be in the bio also. And that should be it on everything in the Nifty news sector. Now, I know we've been talking about this the entire show so far. Let's go into alumni registration.
Alumni registration is super important. The whole premise of, why we want you to watch beyond the business. We want you guys to become alumni, get all, the access to the resources that we have, because we have them to give. The link is alumni.nifty.com/sign up. Please be sure to click it. It's a pretty simple process. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the incentives, right? So for the students, every student that signs up within their class, you get a chance to win $50 in an Amazon gift card. And we're giving them out to multiple students. So be sure to do that. We won't let you guys down. We will definitely be giving you guys some gift cards. For the teachers, we also have a raffle for you guys. So for every student that signs up in your class, you get a ticket to be entered in a raffle multiple times for up to $100 worth of gift cards from Amazon. So yeah, sounds good, right? Samya, you want a gift card, Samya? I want one.
I do. I mean, if you guys don't want to, sign up, let us know. We can take the gift cards too. I mean,
yeah, most definitely. I'm not gonna lie. Production, I did kind of enter my name like 20 times. So, I mean, you do have some competition.
Yeah, just a little bit of competition, guys. So make sure you please sign up and let us know so that we can enter you guys into this competition to win these amazing gift cards. So, but there's so many benefits to being an alumni. You can get access to resources, funding opportunities for your business, and even opportunities to get a scholarship. We partner with a bunch of different schools, for example, Syracuse and Babson, where we do offer full ride. As well as this, we have multiple different internship opportunities at some of our partnering companies and other companies that are currently looking for interns. And some of that, free courses that also can help you grow your business. So there's also just very few limited things about being a Nifty alumni and its benefits.
That's great. I agree. I hope you guys sign up. I hope we can all connect. I look forward to interviewing all of the different students and teachers, not only in the Southeast, but maybe moving regions if possible. But, I think this has been an amazing show. Before we head out, I just want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Nifty Southeast, Southeast Production. That's why I'm Nifty. Go ahead, hit the
That's why I'm Nifty.
Yes, amazing. It's important. Like, why are we Nifty? That's the one question I love asking, because we get such a diverse answer. And you heard what makes us Nifty, but I definitely want you guys to drop down in the comments what makes you guys Nifty. Hopefully we get to interview you guys one day. I would love to connect. But speaking of what makes us Nifty, before we head out, I would love to show you guys some students from New World School of the Arts, students of Ray Paris, what made them Nifty.
And that's why I'm Nifty.
Hi, my name is Elisma Rodriguez, and I'm very charismatic. I focus a lot on customer satisfaction when it comes to my business dealings, and that's why I'm Nifty.
My name is Destiny, and I'm Nifty because I'm living out an inspiration, and I'm living up to one of my childhood characters of Tinkerbell, who tinkers and she finds ways to solve problems with weird solutions, and she uses her resources that are found around her, and that's what I want to be able to do, and that's why I'm Nifty.
My name is Eliza Perez, and I am so inspired by others and in taking up the mantle of just being progressive and determined to achieve their goals. Because even in my time during middle school, I was one of the only students in my art class that would actively participate, and that's how it got me into this school, New World School of the Arts, which has a very slim acceptance rate. So I got very lucky that I was able to have that opportunity to enjoy time with my peers now that are so determined and so driven to just create. And that is so inspiring to me, and that's why I hold myself to be a Nifty person.
So I am Amaranth Ortiz. I'm incredibly flexible and determined with my business, so I'm open to any suggestions that people may have and also be able to stay on track with my business, not be discouraged by feedback. So I love hearing other people's ideas and being flexible with those ideas, and that's what makes me Nifty.
Thank you guys once again. And without further ado, we will catch you guys next month with a very special and different show.
Thank you guys.
And that's why I'm Nifty. And that's why I'm Nifty.